Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Do not say a single word and lock your entire spirit onto my voice right now. You did not stumble across this message because of a simple algorithm glitch, because heaven itself intercepted your feed today. What I am about to reveal was sealed until this exact moment in time. You are standing at the edge of a massive turning point. God is making a move in your life that will leave you completely speechless. Exactly 3 nights ago, while you were tossing and turning in your bed, a divine decree was issued on your behalf. The Father looked at your exhaustion, and he decided that your season of quiet suffering has reached its final hour. Heaven has one strict instruction for you today. Shut your mouth, pull back your energy, and watch what happens next. For years you have been trying to explain yourself to people who were never assigned to understand you. You felt the constant need to defend your character against false accusations. You poured out your heart to individuals who only used your vulnerability as ammunition against your peace. Every time you showed mercy, they treated your kindness like weakness. And the more you tried to talk your way out of conflict, the more drained your soul became. Think about the strange pressure you have felt in your chest over the past few days. You felt a heavy tightness in your throat, almost like an invisible hand was holding back your voice whenever you wanted to speak out. You thought you were losing your mind. You thought it was just ordinary stress. But I am here to tell you that this is not a medical issue. Your spirit is actively discerning a shift that your eyes cannot yet see. You have been waking up suddenly between 3 and 4 in the morning with your mind racing. The house is completely quiet, but your inner spirit feels intensely awake and alert. You carry an emotional sorrow that does not even belong to your own personal choices. You spent your entire life being the emotional sponge for everyone around you. You fixed everyone else while your own heart broke in secret. Lately, you noticed people pulling away from you for no clear reason at all. Friends you loved stopped calling. Doors that seemed wide open suddenly slammed shut in your face. You felt rejected, and you wondered why God allowed such painful isolation to settle over your life. But you must understand that this separation was never a punishment. Heaven intentionally cleared your room to protect your frequency from low intentions. The enemy knows that a breakthrough of biblical proportions is heading toward your life right now. Because he cannot stop the hand of God, he is trying to trick you into sabotaging your own blessing. He sends distractions to push your buttons, and he creates petty arguments to make you speak in anger. Every time you complain or defend yourself, you broadcast your spiritual coordinates to the very forces that want to delay you. You are a generational cycle breaker, and you carry the sacred mantle of a spiritual watchman. That is why your battles have always been heavier than everyone else around you. You were chosen to absorb the attacks so that the curse would stop with you. You cannot fight this new dimension with your old habits of explaining. God is demanding your absolute stillness because the battle in front of you belongs exclusively to him. When God tells you to be quiet, it means he is stepping onto the battlefield to fight for you. When you step back, the creator of the universe steps forward to vindicate your name. Your silence is not surrender, and it is the highest form of spiritual obedience. The people who mocked you are about to witness a sudden elevation that defies every earthly logic. They thought you were buried in the dirt, but you were actually a planted seed. You will not have to lift a single finger to prove your worth to anyone anymore. God is rearranging the hearts of your adversaries, and he is preparing a table for you in the presence of those who doubted your calling. Every silent tear you cried is being turned into public favor. The blockages that kept your purpose delayed are dissolving in the unseen realm right now. Your long season of waiting is finally ending. Do not let your emotions rob you of this critical turning point. I need you to stay locked into this message until the very last second, because leaving early means walking into warfare without your armor. What God is about to do in the next 72 hours requires your full alignment. If you open your mouth too soon, you risk revealing the divine strategy before the trap is sprung. Steady your heart, hold your peace, and let heaven work. In just a moment, I will show you the exact spiritual mechanism behind this strategic silence and why your restraint is currently terrifying the dark forces around you. There is a profound reason heaven placed a padlock on your tongue during this specific transition. Stay with me, because what I am about to explain next will completely reframe every painful battle you have ever survived. Let me reframe your reality right now, because you have been reading the signs backwards. The world convinced you that speaking up was the only way to establish your authority. You were taught that staying silent meant you were guilty, but heaven operates under different spiritual laws. When you speak in your own defense, you are functioning from limited human power. When you stay silent under divine instruction, you invite the unlimited power of the Most High to handle the situation. Your restraint is not weakness. Your silence is a strategic spiritual ambush. Every time you refuse to argue with someone who intentionally provoked you, you frustrate the enemy. The dark forces were counting on your emotional reaction because your reaction was supposed to fuel their attack. Think about what happens when you throw water on a fire instead of fuel. When you refuse to give them words, their accusations run out of steam. They expect you to retaliate with anger. They expect frantic explanations. But when you look at them with quiet peace, an unnatural terror enters their spirit because they realize they are no longer dealing with just you. You are operating under a higher government, and your stillness is your greatest weapon. If this message is resonating with your spirit right now, type 777 in the comments below. Let that number be a physical sign of your agreement with heaven, because your obedience is sealing your breakthrough right this second. Take a deep breath and let the false burden of self-defense fall from your shoulders. Now, I want you to anchor your spirit to something critical, because there is an unseen layer to what you have been experiencing. For years you carried a persistent heaviness in your head and a strange fog in your thinking that you could never quite shake. You assumed that this mental fatigue was simply the price of being deeply sensitive to spiritual things. But what if the reason your mind has felt clouded is not your fault at all? Over the past few years, something extraordinary was uncovered in research laboratories in New York. A dedicated team of neuroscientists spent decades studying the human mind. They discovered a biological reality that connects directly to what you are feeling right now. Human beings were originally designed with a specific neurological clarity, but modern living has systematically dismantled that receiver over time. I am going to explain exactly what these researchers uncovered later in this message, but right now hold this question in your spirit. What if the fog you have been fighting was never a personal failure, but a biological receiver that was quietly shut down? Just hold that question for a moment. The answer will completely change how you view your entire spiritual journey. The truth is that you were never designed to fight everyday battles with your bare hands. As a generational cycle breaker, your lineage has a history of speaking too much in the wrong seasons. Your ancestors fought with their fists, they fought with bitter words, and they passed down a legacy of constant, exhausting conflict. But God called you out from among them to be the first one who wins through sacred stillness. When God told you to shut your mouth, He was asking you to trust His timing. In the old days, when an army surrounded a fortified city, the defenders would seal the gates completely. They did not open the gates to shout insults at the invaders outside. They remained inside the walls, preserving their strength, while the enemy wore themselves out in the heat of the sun. Your silence is the iron gate of your soul. Every word you withhold is energy, preserved for your upcoming elevation. When you speak unnecessarily, you leak the anointing meant to establish your future. You give away the surprise element that heaven is preparing behind closed doors. The people gossiping about you right now have no idea that their actions are pushing you into your blessing. They will soon fall into their own trap. Scripture declares that the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. Notice the divine order in that promise. The peace comes first, and the divine intervention follows immediately after. If you are constantly swinging your own sword, God will simply stand back and let you handle it. But the moment you drop your hands and look up to heaven, the heavenly hosts are officially dispatched to your coordinates. Coming up next, I am going to show you the undeniable historical proof of what happens when a chosen one goes silent before a major miracle. We will look at the exact moment in ancient history where total silence split an impossible sea wide open. Stay with me, because what heaven is about to reveal will give you the supernatural confidence to never explain yourself again. Look at what happened when ancient leaders faced impossible odds. Consider Moses standing at the edge of the roaring Red Sea. The Egyptian chariots were thundering behind them. The people were screaming in sheer terror. And in that terrifying moment of absolute crisis, the voice of heaven cut through the noise with a command that made zero human sense. God did not tell Moses to deliver a powerful speech. He did not tell the people to prepare their weapons. Moses lifted his voice and told the trembling crowd to simply stand still and watch the salvation of the Most High. When Moses fell completely silent and stretched out his wooden staff, the east wind began to blow, and the deep waters split wide open in the dark. Think about David hiding in the dark desert caves from King Saul. David was hunted like an animal through the wilderness for years. He had done nothing wrong. He had served the king with complete loyalty. And yet, when David had the golden opportunity to strike Saul down in secret, he chose to hold back his sword and guard his tongue. David understood a spiritual principle that most people miss entirely. If he took the throne by using his own violent hands, he would have to defend that throne with his own human strength forever. But because he allowed God to remove his enemy in divine timing, his royal lineage was established with unshakable authority. His silence was his greatest military strategy. Look at the ultimate example of divine restraint in the sacred scriptures. When Christ stood before the Roman governor, Pilate, false witnesses shouted vicious lies against his character. The crowd wanted his blood. The religious rulers mocked him, yet he answered not a single word to their accusations, causing the powerful Roman governor to marvel in utter shock. Silence in the face of false accusations is the highest mark of spiritual royalty. Fools argue to prove their existence, but kings remain quiet because their identity is already settled by heaven. When you stop defending yourself against petty gossip, you step directly into that same ancient lineage. You are walking in the royal footsteps of those who conquered through faith. Now, I want to close the loop that has been open in your spirit since earlier in this message. I told you that a team of neuroscientists in New York discovered something crucial about the way our minds were designed. I waited until this exact moment to bring it back forward. You see, what they discovered is not mere information, because what they found is a practical solution that restores what was suppressed. You now understand why your mind felt so weary while your spirit was trying to hold this immense weight. If this truth is bringing deep peace to your heart, take a quick second to hit the like button. Do not do it for this channel, but do it so the algorithm carries this exact message to another weary chosen one who is weeping in silence right now. While you are keeping your mouth shut in the physical realm, massive shifts are occurring in the unseen realm. The heavenly hosts have been assigned to dismantle every trap that was laid for your feet. Every hour you spend resting in divine trust, spiritual blockages are dissolving around your finances and relationships. You do not need to fight when the Creator is your personal shield. The people who conspired against you are growing increasingly confused by your lack of reaction. They expected you to lose your temper and make a public scene. They wanted you to validate their accusations by engaging in a dirty war of words. Because they cannot hear your voice, they cannot read your next move, and their evil plans are collapsing in confusion. Your long season of wilderness isolation was never a waste of your precious years. It was the sacred womb where your spiritual discernment was forged in private. God hid you away like an arrow in his quiver, polishing your edges away from the applause of the crowd. The season of hidden preparation is officially ending, and the season of divine vindication is arriving. Listen very carefully, because we are now approaching the most critical turning point of this entire message. I am about to expose the hidden blocker that kept you trapped in invisible chains for decades. Stay with me, because what I am about to reveal next will break the final agreement you made with defeat and elevate you into your true authority. Now we arrive at the moment of brutal truth. You have spent years pointing your finger at the people who walked away from you. You blamed the family members who betrayed your trust. You blamed the co-workers who took credit for your hard work. And every single night you replayed past arguments in your head, trying to find the perfect words that would finally make them understand your pain. Listen to me very carefully right now. Those people were never your real enemy. They were merely puppets manipulated by dark spiritual forces to keep your energy scattered in every direction. The real enemy was the hidden agreement you made with fear inside your own soul. You believed the lie that you were only valuable when you were saving other people from their own self-inflicted storms. You developed a survival habit of over-explaining yourself. Whenever someone misunderstood your motives, a panic button inside your chest was pressed. You rushed to defend your honor. You wrote long messages trying to heal relationships that were already dead. And because you were terrified of being painted as the villain, you allowed toxic people to drain your precious anointing until you had nothing left to give. Here is the profound epiphany heaven wants to burn into your memory today. God did not tell you to shut your mouth to silence your power. God told you to shut your mouth because your constant defense was blocking his divine retaliation. Every time you open your mouth to fight back, you step in front of the arrows that God had aimed directly at the spirit behind your attackers. When you step aside and close your lips, you give heaven full legal permission to execute the divine verdict. Exactly 3 nights ago, the court of heaven ruled in your favor. The Creator saw how you swallowed your pride when you were falsely accused. He saw you choose peace when you possessed enough evidence to destroy your accusers in public. That restraint was your greatest spiritual victory. Remember the core open loop we opened at the very beginning of this message. The unexpected move that God is making right now is a complete reversal of your social standing. The very individuals who whispered behind your back will soon be required to come to you for help. God is setting a lavish table in the presence of those who mocked your faith. They will watch you rise while remaining unable to touch your peace. You are breaking a generational curse of reactive anger. For generations, your family members fought each other over crumbs of respect and destroyed their destinies with unbridled tongues. But you were appointed to be the cycle breaker who walks in unshakable spiritual dignity. You do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You are seated in heavenly places with Christ, far above the noise of this lower realm. Feel the false guilt lifting off your shoulders right now. You are not responsible for carrying the emotional baggage of people who refuse to grow. You are not obligated to explain your calling to people who only view you through the lens of your past mistakes. When you stop talking, you stop feeding the spiritual leeches in your life. Their power over you vanishes the exact second your silence begins. In the next 72 hours, you will witness the first undeniable sign of this divine move. A sudden telephone call, an unexpected financial turnaround, or a dramatic public exposure of those who plotted against you will manifest. You will not have to speak a single sentence to vindicate your character. Heaven is going to speak so loudly on your behalf that everyone who doubted you will be left utterly speechless. Take a slow, deep breath into your lungs. Release the heavy armor you have been wearing for 20 years. The watchman is finally permitted to rest, while the Most High takes the front line. Your long season of spiritual warfare has forged an unbreakable diamond inside your spirit. The fire did not burn you away, because the fire only consumed the ropes that were holding your true identity hostage. You are now standing at the threshold of the promised land. But as you prepare to step into this unprecedented elevation, there is one final piece of the puzzle you must understand. Spiritual victory requires a clear biological receiver to walk into its fullness. If your mind remains clouded by years of physical exhaustion, you will struggle to navigate the open doors that heaven is placing directly in front of you. What I am about to show you next will bridge the gap between this sacred prophecy and your daily physical reality. We are about to explore the precise scientific discovery from New York that restores the cognitive clarity you had when you were young. Stay with me for this next section, because the key to maintaining your spiritual breakthrough without burning out is about to be revealed. Let us bring everything down to earth for a moment. You now understand why this season demanded your silence. The battles you fought were real, but your spirit was never meant to carry them alone. When heaven asks you to stand still, it is preparing you to receive something far greater than temporary earthly vindication. Take a slow breath and let that realization settle into your heart. You are the cycle breaker who broke generational patterns of defeat. You endured the wilderness without complaining. You kept your integrity when others took shortcuts. But even the strongest warrior needs a biological vessel that can sustain such a massive assignment. God prepares the promise, but He also cares deeply about the physical receiver that must walk into it. Earlier in this message, I asked you to hold a specific question in your spirit. I mentioned that researchers in New York uncovered something essential about the human mind. For years, you wondered why your thoughts felt clouded, even after praying with pure sincerity. The answer to that question is not a spiritual mystery, because it has a very clear biological explanation. In 1981, Dr. Roger Sperry was awarded the Nobel Prize for his split-brain research. His work proved that the two hemispheres of the human brain were designed to operate in total unison. When both sides communicate seamlessly, whole brain activation occurs. In this state, intuition becomes crystal clear and creative solutions appear effortlessly in daily life. Studies revealed that 98% of young children naturally operate in this state of creative clarity. Yet, as we grow older, modern stress and constant noise systematically suppress this natural wiring. By adulthood, less than 1 in 1,000 individuals retain that level of mental sharpness. This fatigue was never a character defect, because it is simply a receiver that fell out of synchronization. You might wonder why something this essential remained out of reach for everyday people. In specialized medical clinics, in-person neurological sessions often cost $300 per hour, and clinical machines run upward of $7,000. Those barriers prevented regular people from accessing real restoration. But a dedicated team decided that this breakthrough had to become universally accessible. Consider the experience of a woman from California who felt spiritually disconnected for years. She believed every sacred promise, but her daily life felt hollow and constantly drained. After 10 days of using this daily protocol, she described a heavy internal blockage dissolving completely. A man from Texas reported a similar breakthrough, waking up after 2 weeks to find that his mental fog had completely vanished. To make this transformation possible at home, a distinguished neurologist named Dr. Daniel Barone developed a dedicated solution. His team compressed complex clinical protocols into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. They call it the Genius Switch. It requires only 8 minutes a day with ordinary headphones operating beneath your active awareness to gently restore your natural hemisphere synchronization. The genius switch is not for everyone. It is specifically for the chosen one who understands that spiritual alignment requires a restored physical mind. It was designed for the individual who has done the deep inner work and who is ready to step into their calling without carrying yesterday's mental exhaustion. If you are still listening right now, your spirit recognizes the value of this turning point. While colleagues suggested that a $500 anchor was entirely reasonable, it was initially offered at $49. But for those watching this message today, access has been set at just $39. When you receive this protocol, 4 specialized companion guides are included to support your journey. You also receive an ironclad money-back guarantee, meaning there is zero risk to your household. Every week you remain in mental fog is another week you navigate divine opportunities with an uncalibrated receiver. Heaven is arranging massive blessings for you, and your mind deserves to be fully alert when they arrive. Please be aware that there are imitation audio tracks online that lack this genuine technology. The direct portal created by Dr. Daniel Barone is the only verified source. If your spirit resonates with what has been shared, the link in the description below and in the first pinned comment leads directly to their official page. Take your time to review every detail before making any decision. Remember that a physical tool does not replace God or your obedience. But when you restore the biological vessel God gave you, you provide a peaceful channel for His divine purpose to flow through. Place your right hand gently over your heart right now. Feel the steady rhythm of your chest and take another deep breath of clean air. You have carried the heavy burdens of an entire generation on your weary shoulders. And even when the whole world misunderstood your sincere motives, heaven never lost sight of your quiet loyalty. The time for silent suffering has officially reached its final conclusion. The season of running after people to explain your innocence is dead and buried. You do not need to defend your pure intentions to anyone who is committed to misunderstanding you. Today you are handing the heavy sword back to the Almighty. When you step off the physical battlefield, you allow the King of Kings to take complete command of your divine vindication. Your peace is now non-negotiable. Look at how much energy you wasted in previous seasons trying to change the opinions of temporary spectators. They criticized your choices because they were completely blind to the sacred assignment resting upon your life. But every single false rumor spread against your name was secretly recorded in the eternal ledgers above. God is turning every painful insult you endured into a golden stepping stone toward your promotion. The enemy wanted you to remain trapped in bitter arguments until your spiritual lamp ran completely out of oil. He sent continuous drama to keep your mind occupied with trivial matters, hoping you would miss the divine window of your visitation. But your sudden stillness shattered his entire strategic ambush. By closing your mouth, you completely blinded the spiritual adversaries that were tracking your frequency. Remember the 72-hour window of divine confirmation that was promised to your spirit earlier. Watch how quickly the spiritual atmosphere shifts around your household over the next 3 days. You will see unexpected peace replace lingering tension, and doors that were locked for decades will swing wide open without any human struggle. When these blessings manifest in your reality, remember that your obedience made room for the miracle. Now speak these sacred words with me in the quiet sanctuary of your inner soul. I release the exhausting need to prove my value to individuals who cannot comprehend my spiritual worth. I surrender every unresolved conflict, every broken relationship, and every unfair accusation directly into the hands of the Father. My silence is an impenetrable shield, and my trust in God is an absolute certainty. Declare this truth over your family lineage with unshakable authority today. I am the generational cycle breaker appointed by heaven to establish a new legacy of righteousness and peace. The ancestral patterns of poverty, confusion, and reactive anger are shattered from my bloodline right now. I gladly receive the royal mantle of spiritual clarity, and I will walk in the fullness of my divine inheritance. Heaven is currently releasing a supernatural acceleration into your personal health and finances. The precious years that were stolen by spiritual locusts and prolonged seasons of delay are being restored to you in double portion. You will eat the finest fruit of the land, and your dwelling place will become a fountain of generational wisdom. Those who mocked your humble beginnings will soon witness your supernatural elevation. You will no longer live as an isolated exile in the dry deserts of rejection and loneliness. The mighty angels of heaven are encamping around your home both day and night to guard your every step. No weapon forged against your destiny shall ever prosper, and every voice that rises against you in judgment shall be silenced by the truth. You are deeply loved by the Creator, and your path is established forever. What the Almighty has written in the courts of heaven concerning your life cannot be revoked by mortal men. You have passed the painful test of the wilderness, and you have preserved your integrity in the darkest night. The heavy tears you wept behind closed doors have been transformed into fragrant incense before the throne of grace. Your season of harvest has officially begun, and no demonic power can delay it. If your spirit received the fullness of this prophetic decree today, seal it into your physical reality right now. Type "I am ready" in the comments below as an eternal sign of your covenant agreement with heaven. Hit the like button to spread this sacred frequency, and subscribe to this channel immediately so that you do not miss the crucial prophetic instructions arriving in the days ahead. Go forward into tomorrow with unshakable confidence and guard your silence like a priceless treasure. Do not allow the loud distractions of the world to drag you back into the small battles you have already won. Walk with your head held high, because the Creator of the universe is marching directly before you to level every mountain. Shut your mouth, stand still, and watch God give you the victory.